Well, welcome to Foster Center Baptist Church. I was married to the minister of this church, and I just want to invite all of you to view the beautiful surroundings. It was built in the 1800s, and I just want you to know that he was the minister here 36 years, and he retired on a Sunday, and he died on a Tuesday, 2 days later. So, but we have great memories of him up here in this pulpit. And over on the piano, we have artificial flowers that we had for his celebration of life service. So we keep them there as a memory of him for all the years that he served here. And over here, there's a plaque with his name on it, and they were going to present it to him, but he died before they could present it. So they brought me up to the front, and they asked me, and they said that they wanted me to stand by it so that they could photograph me with it. So I'll have my brother, Robb, he can do a close-up of it because there's a picture of my husband on it. And the verse about we will fly like eagles, I said that's in the Bible. And I don't know what else to tell you, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful trip for me. What do you call it, Rob?
A journey. It's a journey. This is your journey, Faith.
Journey. And I feel very blessed that I could become a minister's wife. And I had only met him once, I says, when I married him. And I was a school bus driver down in New York, and I came up for a birthday party, and I met him, and then I went back to New York, and I flew down to Florida to my brother's because my mother and my stepfather had gone into a nursing home. So I spent the whole month of August there, and in turn, this minister that I only saw once, he called my mother the end of August, and he asked her for my hand in marriage. And I got back to my brother's, and I called him, and I said, "Why are you asking my mother for my hand in marriage?" He says, "I figured you'll say no, because," he says, "that you only saw me once." I said, "You hit the nail on the head." So then I went to see my mom in the home, and I said to her, I says, "Mom," I said, "what do you think about this?" She says, "You're not going to get better than a Baptist minister, so you better marry him because I'm out of here." I said, "Okay, Mom." I says, we'll fly down to Florida, and I says, "We'll get married in June on your birthday," because I said it'll be a year from the time that I met him. Well, it just so happens that my stepfather was October, Rob, when my daddy died? Mom?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And so anyway, my stepfather had died in the morning, and then I got the call later on that my mom had passed away. So I called up Pastor Jay, and I said to him, I said, "Gee," I says, "my mom and my stepdad both died the same day." He goes, "Well, then we'll get married Christmas Eve." He says, "You can come up on your Christmas break from driving the school bus," and he says, "We'll get married and then we'll announce it." Well, I'll tell you something. When you drive the school bus in New York 25 years and you go back and you tell your boss you're given 2 weeks notice, they're not very happy. Because you do sign a contract that you have to drive from September, like the teachers and stuff, you have to work from September until June. And I said, "Well," I says, "I've been single," I says, "all these years, 17 years between marriages," and I said that I am not gonna have a husband that lives in Rhode Island and me in New York. I said, "I'm giving you 2 weeks notice and I'm out of here." So anyway, like I said, we were married 10 years, and he died 18 years ago. So it's like my permanent home. I camped at Ginny B Campground with my 5 kids for 25 years, and it was right around the corner from this church. And he says to me, "How come you never came in the church?" I said, "Because Lutherans didn't go in Baptist churches." He says, "No, they just marry the minister." So when I used to camp at Ginny B and I had to go home with my 5 kids, I used to cry all the way home in the car. And the kids said, "How come you cry, Mommy? Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I want to live in Rhode Island the rest of my life." Well, it took God from 1970 to 1996 to get me here permanently. And also I've been wearing a 13. I don't know if you can see it, but I've been wearing a 13 ever since my first divorce, because I said it was the day God set me free. And I said that then so Pastor Jay says to me, he says, well, now you live in one of the 13 states of the Union. And I go, you gotta be kidding. He says, no, look at, he says, your flag has the anchor for the anchor, and it has 13 stars around it. And he says, Jesus is our anchor of hope. So I said that, boy, God had this plan way before I was even born.
Well, amen.
And then they say that there's no God? No way. So my brother has been having a good time. He did the covered bridge, and now we're doing the church. And
the little schoolhouse next door.
oh yeah, I love that. That was the one-room schoolhouse, right, which is now our library, our town library, so you can see how big the town is. And he's not too much in favor of this, but I do want to take him to the fairgrounds, because we have the Forster Old Home Days that we've had since 1880s. And our church participates in it, and it's this weekend, so I'll be working in the booth Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the church booth. And I said they have so much activities going on, and all the ministers from all the churches out here, they put on a skit. So this year they're putting on a skit on Noah because of all the floods that we've had this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And I guess that's about it, Rob. I know you said I talk a lot, so.
That's all right. This is your real home right here.
Right, definitely is my real home.
That's
I do
sweet.
live in Coventry, and I have a home on an acre of property, and I have a big ball field right next to me, which is great because I don't like being alone. I wouldn't want to live out here because you're on 4 acres of property you have to build on. And since I was born and raised in Cliffside Park, New Jersey, and then moved to New City, New York, I'm a city girl. So when he asked me to marry him, I said, you don't live in Forster on 4 acres of property, do you? He says, no, I live in Coventry. So I have my acre of property was my house, and then I have the ball field next to me. I have Little Rick and Dee's, which my brother videoed the last time he was up. And they have Elvis Presley playing his guitar, or whatever he played, on the thing. And then next to it is Naughty Oak Baptist Church. And I started going there because at 86, I don't know how many years I'm going to be driving all over the Rhode Island. So it's right next door to my house. I can actually walk out my door and just go past the ball field, Rick and Dee's, and the church is right there. So, and they've been a blessing in my life because they have dinners twice a week. So I go there for free dinners.
Nice.
What more could you ask for? I said, God has been really watching over me all my life. And I'm so glad that Rob and Gail, that they took the time to come to visit me, even though it's only 24 hours that we're together, but we're making good use of it. And I'll tell you, at 86, I go to bed at 12 o'clock at night, and I don't come downstairs till 11 o'clock in the morning. And here I was out of the house at 7 with my brother and his wife. Well, you all know him.
Yep.
He's got to do his video, so
There you go.
already saw the covered bridge.
Awesome.
Yeah, and thank you so much for interviewing me, brother.
You did all the talking, as always. Love you, sis.
Yeah, you can tell it runs in the family.
Amen. Amen.
All right, I have one more thing to share. The picture that is hanging behind me is one of my favorites, and it's hanging in the church for all these years. And it's Jesus knocking at the door. And as you can see, there is no doorknob. And he's saying that he who opened the door, I will come in and eat with him and he with me. So open the door of your heart and invite Jesus to come in. And I said, I just love that. And I've been hanging in the church ever since they built the church. So I just wanted to share that with you. Whoever knocks on my door, I will open it. Because there's no doorknob, as you know. You've seen that picture dozens of times. So it's up to you to open the door and let him into your heart. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you, Rob.
That was Faith's sermon.
Sermon for the day. You want to come back Sunday?
There you go.